And putting the rocks in place so that this doesn't go flying. Okay. And yeah, I've got a big hole in my outfit, but whatever. Okay. Live. Yay. Working on some stuff. Oh, there goes my crochet hook. Okay. There we go. Working on a baby blanket today. I have two that I'm currently working on. This one is for a baby that is turning 1, and the other one is for a baby that has yet to be born. So I'm working on this one first. A couple stitches in and then post on Instagram that I'm live. Anyway, I'm using a giant 1 pound of big twist yarn, rest in peace Joanne, to make this blanket. This might be a future tutorial. It's like a granny square, but with the variegated yarn, I do V-stitches instead of granny clusters to save on the amount of yarn I use. Because I have a limited amount of variegated yarn, something like that. So anyway, if you're just joining the live, welcome, welcome. Don't forget to double tap the screen to like the live. Hit that subscribe button. We go live every Saturday, and I'll finally have every Sunday, and I'll finally have another vlog coming out on Saturday. Next Saturday. We are back in action. So I hope you'll all stay in chat for a while. Promise I don't bite. Just kind of been in a funk lately, but I'm finally coming out of it, so. Back in business and hearing my neighbors argue about things. Hearing them argue, so let's see what drama occurs today. Anyway. We are doing a baby blanket using big twist yarn, white and roller rink is the rainbow one. And we're actually going to put roller rink over here on this side, white on this side, and that should keep the colors from getting tangled up, I hope. Rest in peace, Joanne. Miss him a lot. It's a beautiful sunny afternoon here in middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. My flowers are doing very well today. have to remember to empty the dehumidifier in the basement to use to water them later. So, woohoo. Hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Kid doesn't want to get in the car seat. This is the fun entertainment of small town America, just sitting and watching what goes on. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. It's the neighbor's kids. Hello, hello. Yeah, I'm doing a lot better than I was these past couple weeks. I'm happy and energetic again, and there goes a toddler. Yeah, I've cut back on the amount of stress at my day job and all that good stuff. So, or well, I made them cut back on the amount of stress. There goes the grown up after the toddler. I'm sorry to hear that. Yep. The adult has retrieved the running toddler. This is turning out really pretty. I love the colors. You'll subscribe? Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I actually posted a short today, and I posted on Instagram and TikTok for the first time in forever. I think maybe since March. Oh, toddler's trying to make an escape again. Such is life. Such is life. You're Quan? That's nice. I'm Gracie. I'm Gracie, and when I'm not crocheting on YouTube, I'm a teacher. But I go year round, so I do not have the summer off. Very clever girl. Thank you. Wouldn't consider myself a girl, though, considering that I'm actually older than I look. The screen takes about 20 years off. Where did these clouds come from? They were not here a few minutes ago. That is annoying. It's like perfectly still weather, beautiful sunshine, and then as soon as I set up to go live on the porch, clouds, wind. Annoying. Well, at least it's not too hot. My flowers are all doing well in my garden. Somehow turned into a plant lady. How many subscribers do you have? A little over 1,000. And have you had a good day? Yes, I've had a very nice day. I got to sleep in a little bit. I had breakfast. What did I have for breakfast? I can't remember what I did for breakfast. I had bagels for breakfast. And coffee. Love coffee. I cleaned my kitchen. I watched some TV. I crocheted. And now I'm doing a live stream. Oh, and I got some filming and video editing done. I posted a short, took some pictures, scheduled some Instagram posts, which I haven't done in forever. So, I'm doing a lot better. For the past few weeks, I've only been doing my Sunday live streams, and even then it's been very subdued just because work has been so stressful and it's been impacting my mental health, and I just didn't want to do anything, but I'm better now. I'm doing a lot better now. I've got energy and motivation back, so I should finally have a new vlog up on this coming Saturday, and back in the flow of crocheting. All that good stuff. I got into a craft show at the end of August, and then another one at the end of September. One is a show I've done before, and one is a new one in my new area where I moved to back. I moved in this house back in October. I successfully survived my first winter living in the middle of nowhere. It sucked. Because it's such a commute from my job that no matter when I'm driving, it's dark out. So I get to work, it's still dark out, and then by the time I get home, it's dark out. And I'm on top of a mountain, so it's a precarious drive when the weather's not good, but mortgage is really good, so can't complain about that. Cannot complain when the mortgage is only $400 a month. That's less than renting with roommates in my hometown, so. And I have a yard that I can do whatever I want with, because out where I live, there's no mandate about mowing your grass or mowing your lawn or stuff, so. I've let it grow wild, and it's quite nice. I do use a weed whacker to keep the edges nice. But there's flowers everywhere. You're back. Welcome back. My yard has been slowly taken over by wildflowers, and it's great. The storm you live in America? I live in the US too. I live in Pennsylvania. In the middle of absolutely nowhere. We don't even have a Walmart. Yep. Is it 2 o'clock? No, it's 1:50. I swear, the church bells, they go off there's church bells all over town. And they do not go off at, like, on the hour. They just go off randomly. Which I don't mind, but it would be great if they actually went off on the hour. That dog is not on a leash. Okay. Did he get away from somebody? this wind. All right, we finished another round, and it is beautiful. Right then. There go the birds. Turning another corner, woo! I do really love how the colors are with this. I think I'll definitely make a tutorial for this baby blanket at some point in the future. I always say I'm going to make a tutorial of something and then I don't. But speaking it aloud puts it on the weird to-do list running in my head, therefore someday it will get done. This may seem like a regular granny square, but it's not. It's got V-stitches. Just gotta think of what kind of border I could put on it. I'll probably do picots or something. I like shell borders on baby blankets, but I'm working with a limited amount of this variegated. And it's been discontinued, so there's no way I'm gonna get any more of it, so. Sadness. Sadness, sadness, sadness. course, the wind. Very annoying. So, chat, how's everybody's summer going? Mine is finally looking up. Get some vlog clips while we're at it. Hear the morning doves. There we go. Okay. Pick up on the ambient noise. Gotta say, I am loving this whole 1 pound of big twist yarn. I know I got a ton of it when Joann closed. I still miss Joann so much. Get some vlog clip. Anyway, if you're just joining the live, welcome, welcome. Don't forget to double tap the screen to like the live and hit that subscribe button. Good Lord, the bass on that radio. Feels excessive. Bass on that actually like hurts. Anyway, if you're just joining the live, welcome, welcome. Working on a baby blanket right now. I must say, I love how pretty it is. Hi, Tracy. Good to see ya. Excuse me. Oh boy. Yeah, getting tangled up here. See you too. Thanks. Hope you're doing well. Sun's coming back out. Doing a lot better. A lot of my motivation is back. Actually posted a short for the first time in a while today, and it's pictures. Got some Instagram posts lined up ready to go. Some of the work stress has been lowered. And my flowers in my garden are doing well. My week at work was all right. Started out a little stressful, but the older classroom that I had been helping out in, they're backing off me for a little bit. I did crash out a couple weeks ago about managing my classroom, the babies, plus needing to deal with this classroom with all the older kids and all the behaviors. And so I basically threw a fit, put my foot down, and they are good Lord. They're being less reliant on me. So I'm able to actually focus on my own classroom more. And that has cut back on a lot of the stress. Which is good because we just got a new baby in the class that was very premature. So I'm going to have to do a lot of work with her. So I can't be dealing with 3-year-olds biting me and throwing chairs at me when I've got a preemie that needs help. Because she just turned 3 months old, but she was 8 weeks premature. And with babies, if they're more than 3 weeks premature, you have to subtract however many weeks from their age for their cognitive and everything abilities. So while she is 3 months old, because she was 8 weeks premature, she's actually 1 month old. So we have to help her catch up, basically. But she's cute, she's good. I'll say, give me screaming newborns over 3-year-olds any day. So I also got a raise, so that helps. Because I did throw a fit. In my classroom, yes. I have 2 co-teachers, one full-time, one part-time. And I've been teaching with them for years now. It's the older classroom that they're just too heavily reliant on me coming down to help. And they were read the riot act and we're basically like, you got to figure this out yourself. Like, you can't rely on Gracie to be coming down. She's not a 3-year-old teacher. She's a baby room teacher. You can't be putting off all the hard stuff to wait until she comes down because she might save you. Like, I'm just there as extra hands for 1 hour a day to help get them down for nap. And then help get them up from nap. And basically they changed it so that they are now responsible for the behaviors. I can't come down and help with the behaviors. I come down and help with the other kids in the class while they deal with the behaviors because that's their job. So now that I'm no longer dealing with the behaviors, basically dealing with the other kids that don't have behaviors, it's a lot easier. And the babies were good this week. We took them out on Friday to play in the water. Because the older classrooms do water days once a week, where they put all the kids in the swimsuits and let them run around in a sprinkler, play with water toys and water tables. And typically the babies never do, but we had very few babies on Friday, so my co-teacher and I brought them out and let them splash in a little bucket. And they had a good time. We held them in and let them put their feet in the water. It was cute. They had a good time. And we had some fun photo shoots with the babies earlier this week too. Since my school is putting out an advertisement that we're enrolling, so they needed some nice pictures. And I was able to take some pictures of the babies doing stuff, edit them, all that good stuff. And they like it. A lot of them like to ham it up for the camera, so. Yeah. I'm primarily back in my classroom. I'm no longer responsible for anybody else's classroom. So we shall see what tomorrow and the next week brings, because the director, she's off. She got married over the weekend, and she's off, obviously, for the rest of this coming week. So we shall see. And then one of my coworkers leaves on maternity leave at the end of next week. So that should be fun. I have the baby blanket for her baby that I'm working on also in the bag next to me. I figured we'd work. This one is going to be a birthday gift. But I've been kind of alternating between the two as the week goes on. They're the same pattern, but one is with a DK weight and different colors, and this one is with a 4 weight and different colors. And this one is for a 1-year-old. When do I take my leave? Not till November. I already had my surgical leave back in March. And my next vacation is towards the end of November. I always take the week of Thanksgiving in November off to travel. And then we get 2 weeks off at Christmas time. And then we have July 3rd, we're closed for 4th of July. So I'm looking forward to that long weekend. Because normally for my 3-day weekends, I travel to the rest of my family. So for like Memorial Day and Labor Day, I go up to New York to see my family. But for 4th of July this year, I was like, no, you're all coming to me. I want a 3-day weekend at my house. So I have my family's going to come visit me for 4th of July. And it will be fun. Because starting next week, my town that I live in, they do a lot for 4th of July, and all the festivities start next weekend with like a carnival and live music every night, and there's going to be a parade on the actual day and fireworks. But I don't have to go anywhere for the fireworks because I can see the display from my yard. So, yeah, at least then I don't have to travel. Exactly. So I'm like, I'm tired of being the one that has to drive to everybody. Because I don't have a spouse or children. Well, no one has children anymore. My brother and sister-in-law haven't had children yet. And my brother and I are all grown up. But I'm the single one, so somehow I always end up being the one that has to drive everywhere. But finally I'm like, how about y'all drive to me? Because I already drive 45 minutes to work and back. Y'all put some miles on your cars. Because I'm the one in the family that commutes. The rest of y'all are remote. Or live within a couple miles of the job. I live 45 minutes away from my job. Which, yeah, it's not a bad commute, but you know, that's 45 minutes every morning in the car and then 45 minutes back. And it's not even that it's far away, it's just that most of the drive for very little is highway. Most of it is backcountry roads. And then one section of highway, it's a very steep going down or up a very steep mountain, so it's a much slower speed limit, so you don't go flying off the highway. So, hi Aaliyah. So I'm like, yeah, it's only 20 miles, but it takes me 45 minutes. Plus traffic, because everybody else here also commutes into the same town, so. Yeah, y'all could come to me for 4th of July. I do enough driving during the week. So I'm looking forward to that long weekend and all the fun stuff that'll be in my town. There'll be like a carnival, vendor food. Love me some vendor food, fair food. Buses and trains right? No. No buses. No trains. The train goes about 20 miles south of here. That goes through from, like, if I drove 20 miles south, I could take the train to, like, New York City, Philly, Pittsburgh, big cities. And there's no buses out here anymore. There used to be a long time ago when I was in high school. It would go around the county to pick up all the people that would commute into my hometown, because that's the city for this area. So it would pick up the commuters and go into my hometown and then go around the county and bring them back. But that ended sometime when I was in college. And the old signs are still up, but that bus hasn't come around for like at least 10 years. Like, there isn't even any Uber out here. Nobody drives for Uber out here. If you got to get somewhere, you just post on the Facebook community group and hope somebody is willing to drive you if you don't have a car. But yeah, this is definitely very car-centric area. I could walk to Dollar General, but that's it. Anything else you gotta drive? There's no more bus, no train. I mean, even the buses in my hometown are terrible, and of course there's no train. There hasn't been a train in my hometown since the 50s. Hi, welcome back. So, what are you making? I am working on a baby blanket birthday gift for one of the babies in my class. It's granny stitch, but the variegated rows are actually a V-stitch instead. Because this yarn it's big twist yarn. So I gotta save on this because I want to use this to put a border on it. But I didn't want like just a solid white giant granny square with a colorful border. So, and I'm doing the same with another baby blanket I'm working on for a coworker that this coming week is her last week of work, and then she goes on maternity leave. That one's also being made with discontinued yarn. Only it's Lion Brand Comfy Cotton DK. This is just all big twist. Just generic white and then roller rink. I think after another round of this, I might, it's not done, but I might set it down and work on the other one. I've just been alternating between the two. Yeah. Yup. Baby girl is due any day now. But she's at the point where she doesn't know if she's actually going to come back from maternity leave or not. I think she will, knowing her work ethic. She'll probably go crazy sitting around in the house with the baby, and she'll be back. And plus, her fiance works at Chipotle. So, they'll be back. She'll probably be back. And bring the baby. Which we offer 75% off tuition if you work there. So, we shall see, but I'm still gonna make her a blanket and wish her well. because, you know, babies. Love babies. And then I've got a little girl in my class turning 1 beginning of July, and this one's for her. Basically free guac. Yeah. Yeah, that's basically what he makes. I think I make more than he does. Which is kind of sad because childcare obviously does not pay very well, but after my crash out a couple weeks ago, I got a raise. So I'm above the federal poverty level. Woohoo! I make a little over $30,000 a year. And I mean, they offer really good employee benefits. So I have good health insurance, dental, vision. And my mortgage is cheap, so it works out. Obviously, I would love to make more money, but I can survive. Beautiful blanket, love it. Thank you! Yes. Plus, now that I have all my motivation back, hopefully I can start supplementing it more off of YouTube. I just need like 2,000 more watch hours. Which kind of sucks because I've been in a real slump lately and it only counts the past year worth of videos, so I gotta get cracking again. I'll finally have a vlog out on Saturday. And I'm filming a vlog for this, so things should pick back up now that I'm less stressed out about my day job. Get some inventory moving. I signed up. I got into a craft show up in New York at the end of August, and I'm going to apply to one that's actually here in my town. That'll be at the end of September. Because I know the 4th of July fair, you gotta apply a year in advance, so I obviously missed the boat on that one. It would be great though, because then I wouldn't need to do... I could ask the coordinator and be like, hey, can I just set up on my porch? So I would love to vend at the 4th of July festival here in my town, because if then I could probably set up just outside my house. Then if I needed water or the bathroom, it's right here. But got into a fall festival one, sort of. I haven't applied yet, but because they haven't taken vendor applications yet, but I talked to the owner of the facility and she's like, oh yeah, you've got a spot. Just email me on the 1st of July. So, should be good. That's obviously not close to my house. That's a couple miles uphill, but crochet items you sell to craft market. Mostly smaller things. My coasters, I can barely keep them in stock. My coasters and my scrubbies. Those tend to go really quickly at my craft shows. The flower coasters, the pretty scrubbies. Especially the Pennsylvania ones, and I'm really sad because I think Hirschner's discontinued the scrubby yarn that I used for that. I have to check and see if I can get more, because I haven't bought yarn in forever, because every time I'm like, oh, I have extra, I could buy some more yarn, a light turns on in my car or the house starts making a weird noise. But I need to get more yarn, and I need to get into some more vendor festivals, because I'm going to need a new roof soon, and I had an estimate done earlier this week, and they said $8,000, which for a roof is not a lot, but is still kind of... I know when my dad had to get the roof replaced back home, back when I was in high school, he had to drop $20,000 for it. But I got quoted a little under $8,000, so I hope these craft shows work out. Yeah, the coasters do, the scrubbies. Maybe my hunting hats will do well. Those tend to do well when I do shows in more rural areas as opposed to closer to my hometown. Which I thought they would sell well in my hometown because there's a lot, it's Pennsylvania, it's big hunting culture, but I guess the city people aren't hunting anymore. Couldn't you try knit picks? I could try and see. It was the Hirschner's MVP yarn, scrubby yarn, the MVP line. They had a line of the scrubby yarn, and that matched all the Pennsylvania sports teams I did. I think they discontinued that. They haven't discontinued the MVP yarn, which I used to make the ear warmers. But the scrubby yarn, I'll have to check knit picks. Because I use the Hirschner scrubby yarn and then Premier Home Cotton as the base. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I will buy some yarn when I get my July paycheck in. Or if somebody buys something from my shop and it gives me enough, there's enough left over after the taxes and the shipping. I haven't announced it, but I am running a sale right now on my website where everything is 25% off for America 250. But because there's not, you can try Mary Maxim. Yeah, Mary Maxim. Yeah, I know. I've never ordered from them before. They're always on my radar, but I tend to default to Premier or Hirschner's. I should branch out. Like, I haven't ordered from Yarn Inspirations in forever. It's usually because Hirschner's has the better deal, but I know Mary Maxim has good deals. I'll have to check it out. It's just I know they're based out of Canada, so would I have to pay any import fees? So I know at least with Premier I can get free shipping, and Hirschner's they're always sending out like free shipping codes. So I'll figure it out. But let's see what else sells well at my markets. Usually the smaller things sell the best at my markets. I don't usually move many shawls or sweaters at markets, which is disappointing. 99 for £1. Millens. Kelsey bought 13. Dang it. I should have paid attention to that. 13 pounds for wow. Kelsey moves a lot more inventory and makes a lot more money than I do, but good for her getting all that. I've been slowly catching up on her. So when I mean I've been going through it these past couple weeks, I've been going through it. Like almost, hi mom, like almost called my psychiatrist going through it, but amigurumi sell. I don't do amigurumi, but I team up with one of my friends sometimes for these markets, and she does amigurumi, and I don't sneak her into markets or anything. Like when we do markets together, we apply together. She does amigurumi, and that stuff sells really well, especially like in years past, bees would sell really well, but now the market is saturated. But she makes a lot more than like just bees. She makes all sorts of stuff that is unique, and that stuff sells really well. Amigurumi is always going to sell a lot better because it has the appeal to children, And it drives me nuts as someone that does no child development when parents are like, okay, yeah, fine, I'll buy this kit to get you to shut up. Like, the crocheter and the hustler in me is like, yes, give me your money. The teacher in me is like, please don't give in. But, hi, Mom. I know I've been able to sell, like, my Pennsylvania sports team stuff pretty good in the fall. Because football. Just don't tell the NFL. Shh. Just kidding, I don't use any team names anywhere, so plausible deniability. And I sell for both major Pennsylvania sports teams, so I always come out on top, no matter what. What I usually do for markets is I have a lot of like small $1 to $2 items, like the coasters and scrubbies. I'll do like an in-person sale deal and drop the price down really low, and then just have a lot of those out. And those are usually my big money makers. Then I'll have like the hats for a lower price. Then I'll have some more expensive hats, and then I'll have the big ticket $50 plus items, like the sweaters and the shawls. But those ones obviously don't move very well in person when I'm in rural areas because they're quite expensive. Whereas when I do markets on the outskirts of my hometown, in the adjoining town, wait, how can I say it? How can I explain this without doxing myself? Then again, I don't live there anymore, so. But switch instead of Monday, Friday, just switch Monday and Friday, and then a live Wednesday and Saturday live stream. Ah, okay. Yeah, so this morning I was playing catch up on Kelsey. I figured she was gonna have to drop a vlog posting a week just because now with all the merch and how much time that takes to pack up, and she's a one-woman show. But I don't know, live streams on Wednesdays and Saturdays. I'll have to catch some of those. I know sometimes the Wednesday ones happen while I'm at work, and I'm like, ugh, can't watch it. Can't watch it. I'm supposed to be teaching. Darn. Though maybe I could put it on for the babies sometime. It's not brain rot, so. I'm like, look, let's watch an unboxing together, babies. Watched Wednesdays. Yeah, I missed yesterday's because I didn't know. By the time I went through the notifications on my phone, it was too late. I was busy doing a lot of yard work yesterday. And I went to a farmer's market. And a former coworker of mine, that turns out she lives out near me too. I didn't know how close she was. I knew she was in the general area. She opened a farm stand at the end of her driveway, so I went there yesterday as well to give her some egg cartons and buy some cookies. And then I ate all but one in one sitting without realizing because they were really good cookies. I gotta show back up again some point during the week and be like, "Can I have more cookies, please?" Another thing to pour all my money into. They were really good cookies. She posted this morning that she had more in stock. I'm like, am I really gonna go and buy more? Might. If she still has any in stock, I might. They were good cookies. Messaged her afterwards. I'm like, did you put cocaine in these? Shop low small. Yeah, and it was only $4 for like a bunch of them. Shopping local. Yay, yeah. And the farmer's market yesterday was nice. It helped that I am fluent in German too, because it was Amish run, and the Amish people working there, they did not speak English very well. They had very heavy accents. So I switched to German and they got all excited. Because the Amish speak a form of German. So, happy crochet. Enjoy your week too, Tracy. Thank you. As fun as I was trying to figure out the cost of the tomatoes because the sign blew away. And I guess there was just, they weren't, I couldn't tell if it was because of the noise, because it was next to a busy road or what, but like I was trying to be like, how much does this cost, huh? And after some back and forth, I was finally like, okay, wie kostet diese Tomate? And they're like, $1. I was like, danke. Gave them the money left with my tomato and some other things. I got some squash, some zucchini, and I couldn't remember the words for squash and zucchini, so I just told them, like, wie kostet? And they're like, $5. They did speak English, it's just, it was easier for me to default to German. So I got some squash, some tomatoes, some whoopie pies, and then I went to my friend to give her the egg cartons and bought the cookies. They're so cute. I haven't been to one of Sarah's lives in forever. Just because she has them so late at night that I'm asleep. Like, I'll get the notification. I'll be like, oh, okay, back to sleep. Because I do go to bed so early. I'm usually ready for bed by 8:30 just because I got to be up at 1 o'clock at 5. But yeah. You're not a mod for Kelsey, are you? Must be weird seeing you without your mod hat. Be like, wait a minute, there's no wrench next to your username. Who are you? Yes, supporting local. Yeah, I'm gonna end up putting her kids through college because of my cookie addiction. Love whoopie pie. Yeah, skipped last week. Yeah, that's like, I think there's a market. Yeah, whoopie pies. Yeah, especially Amish made. Those are another thing that I'm gonna slide up again next Saturday and be like, more whoopie pies, please. Over 100 channel, and weird when you go to help the host and you're like, oh, I'm not even the mod dirt. It's nice not being a mod too sometimes. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I used to do some moderation back in the Skyrim modding community back in the days for those live streams and stuff, but During the midday when her Mod Ollie can't come in. They work midday. Ah. That's right, yeah. They work during regular business hours. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I try to always post early morning or at the end of regular business hours when I do post, or Saturdays. I have to watch on my phone as well because can't use managing mod powers from a web browser, only the app. Why are we moving away from web browsers? I remember when those were the default. Why has everything got to be an app now? Back in my day, the computer had its own room and you respected it. You went to the internet. The internet didn't follow you everywhere, which is, I think, part of the problem with today's society is the internet is everywhere instead of at a dedicated place. Is it raining? There's no rain in the forecast. Oh well, no. Or I'm just crazy. Thought I felt something drop on me, but I'm under my porch, so unless it starts raining sideways, it should be okay. The computer had its own building back in the day. Yeah. I'm not that old, but I do remember the computer room. We had a computer room. You had to go to the internet. I remember Netscape Navigator. Beautiful. Thank you. Friends and Caesar. I'm really just there to make the occasional joke and help with pattern names. Oregon Trail came. Oh, Oregon Trail was my jam. I had later CD. I didn't have the original 80s Oregon Trail, but I had like the CD-ROM versions from like the 90s and early Y2K. Loved Oregon Trail. I would create big families and then have tragic backstories. And then I cheated and I was always a banker by trade so I could have the most money, even though that wasn't what was in the backstory in my head. I guess it makes sense that I ended up getting a creative writing degree in college. I mean, I still use that, obviously, when I'm teaching. I do a lot of early literacy, so. DoorDash, what do you want? You're not out in this area. What? DoorDash? Why are you telling me to DoorDash something from Best Buy? I don't live within, like, 25 miles of a Best Buy. There's no DoorDash out here. Why are you giving me notifications? I only order DoorDash when I'm visiting my parents and don't feel like cooking. The only place out here that used to do DoorDash closed last summer, so. And it's sad because I heard they were really good. Now I really want pizza. I'll probably put a frozen pizza in for dinner tonight. I made some pasta with pesto sauce last night for dinner. I was like, okay, I'll have this for dinner and then I'll eat the leftovers for dinner tomorrow night. And then I ate it all in one sitting without realizing it. I guess I was hungrier than I realized. This is so loud. So we'll grab from the freezer a pizza. And I'll just have that for dinner tonight. And then my dad's coming over to visit tomorrow night. And that's what I'm gonna make pasta primavera, which is why I stopped at the farmer's market to get all those squash and tomatoes. Yeah, it's our new Monday thing. My dad comes over for dinner and does projects around the house for me. Last week we built a shelf in the basement. A single person in front of me, you're gonna have a chef knife to flick and knife to cut slices out of a big pizza while it's frozen, and then you can just cook a slice or two. I will file that away. For if I buy, I usually get like personal size pizzas. So, but I will file that away in my brain for later use. Yeah, but it's almost 3 o'clock. Woo! Uh-oh. This is probably gonna be yarn chicken. I don't know, that's big enough. That's big enough for a toddler. Okay, so officially, yeah, we're gonna have to... If I want to be able to use this color to put a border on, this is gonna be the last row of this color. But yeah, this is... Oh, that looks like flowers. Thank you. Yeah, I think I've said couple times. It's 3 rows of granny stitch and then 1 row of V-stitch. For when you have a limited amount of a variegated, but still want a pop of color. Don't think I'll have enough of this left over to do a shell border, so picots it is. Stitches. I think someone was saying Mikey from Crochet Crowd really modern lines up the stitches. No, I haven't heard that. The modern granny square I've heard of is kind of the brick stitch in the round. But then again, there's multiple names for everything. I don't know. I came up with this idea because I was just messing around on a previous baby blanket that I'm also working on for a coworker. Then I realized, I have a birthday gift I need to make. Let's do the same thing. But with this color. And while the other one I'm working on is a DK weight with cotton yarn. Or a cotton blend. It's a Lion Brand Comfy Cotton. And I had to conserve yarn on that because Comfy Cotton was discontinued a while ago. Sad face. Chain 3 and single crochet before starting the row. Makes all little puffy bits line up with each other on the rows before and after. Huh. Neat. I'll have to check that out. But I use either standing chains, standing double crochet, or stacked single crochet. Chain 1, do a stacked single crochet. That's usually what I do for my squares. I wonder if I could make a granny square out of triple crochet. I wonder how that would look. Next granny square blanket we make. We'll try it. But that's plenty big, yeah. 3 more rows of granny stitch for this. It'll be plenty big enough for her. She's a peanut anyway. The baby that's gonna be getting this. She's 11 months, she's almost 1, but people don't think she's 1 when they first look at her. Because she only just started crawling. Because she's the youngest of 5, so she never felt the need to move on her own because someone was always able to pick her up. And she's very petite. So. And she's the 3rd child from this family that I've had. And the most chill out of all of them. So I had 2 of her sisters. They were both wild and nutcase, insane, busy babies that were all over the place, and she's just a chill little roly-poly. There is a bunny rabbit on the other side of my fence. If you come through the fence, you're allowed the clover. Stay away from my other flowers. I have a buttload of clover. Oh, yep, it's coming under the fence. You're trying to. Yep, it came under the fence and it's going for the clover because I have a lot of clover in my yard. Because I have a lot of rabbits, so I leave the clover out, and they leave all my other flowers alone because there's so much clover. So they leave my intentionally planted pretty flowers alone. Yeah, the bees are happy about the clover too. Well, they're more happy about the native wildflowers that I've planted. So I've planted a lot of tick seed and other pollinator friendly bee attractors, but they do go for the clover. The clover is primarily for the rabbits, so they leave the other pollinating flowers alone. But yeah, like I had my lupine, which is done flowering for the season because it's a spring flower. Like, I was trying to put it in the ground and I had bumblebees going after it as I was moving it from the pot into the ground. And I was like, can you give me 5 minutes? But yeah, the lupine is done for the season. It's entirely gone to seed. All that's left is the bush and some stalks and couple seed pods. But the tick seed is coming in for the season, so. Yeah. I have a lot of rabbits, but I don't think they're actually like living on the property. Blue in the snow. Famine food fruit that turns their pea. That is ridiculous. Yeah, I don't think they live on my property because I have no evidence anywhere of them living there, but every morning I look out and there's like a bunch of them. They hop around, eat the clover, and then they leave. So I think they live somewhere else and just come eat in my yard. And of course, I've got a bunch of mourning doves in the tree. I've got a nesting pair of mourning doves and some cardinals in my one tree. Yep, speaking of cardinals, there they are. Eating some worms. Yeah, I know my dad has beef with rabbits because they keep eating his garden, but I found that the offering of clover keeps them away from mine. Well, the flowers at least. I haven't tried growing any vegetables yet. That'll be for next year. I just want to see if I can get flowers to grow first before I try and actually grow like a tomato or something. Even then I'll probably start with squash. Squash, peppers, and tomatoes. I definitely want to try growing bell peppers just because you can freeze them once. I know you can freeze them because I mean I buy frozen diced pepper at the grocery store. Excuse me. So if I could make my own diced pepper and then freeze it, that would be nice. And squash, because, well, zucchini squash and yellow squash are a good vegetable. And if I have too much, I can just go leave it on the neighbor's porch. Or maybe put my own driveway farm stand in. Be like, come buy some squash. I know my old friend that started hers that I got the cookies from, she has chickens and ducks. They were getting an excess of eggs. So it was primarily for the eggs, and she makes cookies and bread and sticks that out. I've stopped by a couple times. Yesterday was the first day I bought the cookies and ate them all in one sitting, but I've been buying eggs as needed. Because they're slightly more expensive at her place than the local grocery store, but not by much, and they're colorful. Because like, the local grocery store will sell them for 99 cents a dozen, but they're the plain white eggs. Whereas my friend sells them for $2 a dozen, and they're colorful. All different colors, whereas if you want the colorful organic eggs at the grocery store, it's like $5. So, it's a good deal. And, you know, supporting local. And she sells duck eggs for only like $3 a dozen. I usually just buy the chicken eggs. Yeah. And the variety of chickens she has, it turns out to be like a rainbow dozen. So like they're all different colors. It's not just brown eggs. There's like some white, some blue, some green, some brown. Go through them that fast enough. Yeah, frozen chilies, yeah. I know my dad grows jalapenos. I might grow some in the future, but I definitely want to like freeze bell peppers. And onion. I would love it if I could grow onion and then freeze it, because I've fallen in love with frozen onion. My dad just texted me something. Thai chilies are tiny. Aw. It's a wine bottle with a cat on it. Cool. Love it. Mom, if you're still in chat, tell me how that wine tastes. The Cosmic Kitty. Thai chilies are tiny. Yeah. Oh, there's the rabbit. He's come further into the yard. Is that a rabbit? I don't have my glasses on. It's a small creature making eye contact with me and eating the grass, so it's probably a rabbit. I don't know, because the house over there has a feral cat colony too, so it could be a cat. I don't have my glasses on, so. Yep, it's a rabbit based on how it's moving. Whatever it is, it's in my yard. And it's staring at me. And it's a rabbit. It's going for the compost pile and it's hopping. I do have a giant compost pile now with all my coffee grounds and eggshells and grass clippings. It was a very nice sov. Okay. And now I want wine, but it's like 3 o'clock and I'm live streaming and I should not be openly drinking adult beverages on live. Or drinking alcohol on live because I'm a sad drunk. I shouldn't be getting drunk on live in the first place. I know, because I'm quite chaotic, the people in my life are like, oh, you must be fun to get drunk with. No. I am not. But yeah, I could probably go for some wine and cheese right now, but no. Oh, there's a little pretty cardinal. Big, pretty red cardinal sitting on my car. And that I know is a cardinal because only cardinals are that color of red. Because again, I don't have my glasses on, so I can see my tablet and chat, and that's about it. I'm funny when I'm tipsy, Mom. I'm sad when I'm drunk. And I don't get drunk very often anymore. I'm funny when I'm tipsy. When I hit that cliff is when the tears come out. Reminds me I need to make an eye doctor appointment. A cat has come to say, a cat? Oh no. Are you gonna be coming home with another cat, Mom? Or is Dad gonna be coming home with a cat for me? Which would be hard because I'm getting custody at the end of the summer. Would have guessed. No. Nah, Mom's in New York right now. Oh, the cardinal. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Hi, Rabbit. You just ran up next to my porch and stared at me. A cardinal visit. Saw one of the previous kitty. Okay. Guinness. Guinness would love my house with all the birds at the windows he could watch. My God. Soon, buddy boy, soon. I will have custody soon. Yes, a former kitty has come to say hello, the cardinal, because when you see a cardinal, it's somebody from heaven coming to say hello and check up on you. I kind of recognize that cardinal because I know I have cardinals nesting in one of my. Oh, hello, bee. The flowers are over there and there. You don't need to be near me. So, what does it mean if I have cardinals nesting outside my window? Are they? Is somebody from heaven spying on me? Goodness. He's become even more of a relentless beggar these past few weeks. Beyond your depth of knowledge. Might have to go to the library for that one. Just saying hello. Neighbors are quiet this afternoon. I know last week while I was live, they were up to something on the porch. Somebody was mad at somebody. And there was like nobody in the live either, so I was like, no one to share the drama with. I mean, I couldn't make out what they were yelling about. I just know they were yelling, but it sounded like Disney Peanuts voice. But angry. Theodore should be out soon. It's around this time he comes out. He comes out around this time. This is about when it finally starts to cool off. I know on weekends, this is Saturdays, this is near the time I go out to water my plants. Get some water for the flowers later. Well, it is Father's Day, so maybe everybody's out for lunch or something. And that's why it's quiet. Yeah, I got mixed up about the days, and I thought Father's Day was much earlier than the month than it was, so I made my dad his present and gave it to him, and I was like, oh, happy Father's Day. And he's like, it's not for like 3 weeks, Grace. I'm like, well, do you want your present or not? I made him a blue and orange Granny Stitch bucket hat to wear while he's in his garden. and made it to match the sage green one I made for Mom while she's out in the garden. A gift is a gift. Oh, well, yeah. Listen, my brain has been completely shot these past few weeks because of work stress, and I'm finally feeling like myself again. So. There was one weekend I woke up and freaked out that I had missed my alarm. It was a Sunday. I thought I missed my alarm and was going to be late for work, and I texted my boss and I was like, I'm so sorry I slept through my alarm. I'll be there as soon as I can. And she was like, it's Sunday, Gracie. I was like, oh. And she was like, maybe you should go back to bed. And I was like, yeah. So, but yeah. Got my motivation back. Yeah. Well, it works out too because she lives right near me, so I think I'm usually at work before she's even left. So if she drives past my house, so if it was her driving past my house to go to work and she saw my car still there, she would have knocked on the door and been like, "Are you okay?" So. It helps being neighbors with your boss sometimes when you're both commuters. She's like, yeah, it's Sunday. And I was like, oh my god, I'm sorry. She said, you should go back to bed. I said, I will. And then I thought Father's Day was a couple weeks ago when it wasn't. And then there was a few weeks ago when we had that weird power outage when I got back into town, because I usually visit my parents overnight on Fridays, and then I come back into town. And I got back into town and the power was out, but my refrigerator was still working. And I was like, if the refrigerator is still working but everything else is not, that's a problem. And then Dad talked me through resetting all the things and everything. And then I finally went and knocked on a neighbor's door and they're like, oh yeah, our power is out. Our power was out too. I'm like, well, then why does my refrigerator still work? Well, it's because right there is the elementary school, right across the street from me. And they have a big generator, and we're on the same circuit, so their generator was probably backfeeding onto my property, and it powered my refrigerator. So, good to know, I guess. My refrigerator will still work. Whoa, whoa. It's feeding time for all the birds that live in my trees. They all just suddenly came down. They must have found an ant colony or something under my patio because they're really swarming today. or the remains of one, because it was very weird yesterday. I was watering my plants, and then one of the bricks on my patio, it just had a carpet of ants swarming on it. And it was weird, and then I accidentally drowned a bunch of them because I was watering my plants. I guess the birds have found the opening of the colony and they're feasting today. Oh, this blanket has come along quite nicely. I do think we will finish it tonight. And I made my muffins for the day already, which is nice. Corn muffins. So that's my thing. I think I've mentioned it on live before. I make a bunch of muffins on Sundays afternoons, and then that's breakfast as the week goes on. Yeah, I haven't mentioned it. I can never remember. Or I tell the newcomers. But yeah, I made corn muffins this week. Last week I made apple cinnamon muffins. And they were very good. Which reminds me I need to add apple cinnamon muffin mix to my grocery list for the week because I used the last 2 boxes. Because I get the tiny little Jiffy boxes that make like 6 muffins each. And I make 2 of them. And I used the last of my apple cinnamon. Mostly I like them because they're only like 50 cents each at the local grocery store. I love me a good affordable deal. Go away, go away, go away. Ma'am, leave me alone, please. Thank you. Flowers are over there. I am not a flower. Bees. The pollinator stuff is over there, not here. This is a bug-free zone. This is part of the house. You may not come in the house. Go to the flowers, not the house. I should post all my flowers in a vlog sometime. The lupine's gone, but I've got some tick seed. I've got one that is white, and I can't remember. I lost the little insert flag, and then I've got a red one that is starting to bloom. As I wear a flower on my head. Yes, true. However, it's not bright and colorful. This one, at least, it's gray. I also put a lot of windmills out because I have another little flower bed over on that side by the alleyway, and I put some pretty little pinwheels in it. Did I say windmills? I meant pinwheels. I've got a rainbow one and some rainbow one and a red, white, and blue one. That's my 4th of July decor. I feel very left out because the town's having a house decorating contest and it's an explosion of red, white, and blue everywhere. And then there's my house with the pinwheels, and well, I do have a garland around the front door that I'm obviously not going to show because it's got my house number on it. Yeah. I saw them at Weiss when I was doing a grocery run the other week, and I was like, they're only $1 each. Why not? Let's stick them in the ground and have some fun. Especially with how windy it is here. So. Forget getting solar panels. I need a wind turbine. So things I'm kind of figuring out for next year that I want to do. Landscaping wise. I know summer just started, but I mean, one of my coworkers also works part-time at Michael's, and she's like, yeah, we just got our Halloween stuff in, so all that, I missed the boat on buying all the outdoor supplies I would need to do the landscaping that I've decided on. Get like mulch and a bird bath. I got some nice yard signs though that say, pardon the weeds, I'm feeding the bees. And I have one on that alleyway there, and then one at the back of the house on that alleyway. But I've kind of figured out where I would want to grow vegetables next year, where it's going to stay wildflowers, and one where I want to grow like annual flowers. So right now I've just planted perennials. Something very high-pitched is going off somewhere and it's bothering me. Just make sure it's not coming from inside the house. Be right back, chat. Nope. It's not me making the noise. Right, I just have this row and one more done, and then the main part of the blanket will be finished. Okay, finally stopped. Now, really high-pitched noises are like, oh, I can't wait to age out of being able to hear that frequency. Someone's driving down my back alleyway. Guys, I think we might actually be able to finish this on live. Been live for about 2 hours, so we'll go ahead and try and finish this on live since there's not a lot to do. We could probably finish this within an hour. And by finish, I mean the stitch work. I'm not going to sit here and weave the ends in on live. You believe in me. Thank you, Aaliyah, for always believing in me. I do have to say I'm very proud of myself that I haven't missed any live streams because of the weird funk I was in. I only missed them because I was driving. Or traveling on the times I'm supposed to do. Wasn't too stressed out and blah to miss a live. So thank goodness for that. I almost want to make a blanket like this for myself. Find a similar yarn color. I like how it's turning out. I don't know, I just love rainbows paired with solid white. Not for a sweater for myself, though. I look terrible in white. Look much better in darker tones. Probably because I'm very pale. Like when I wear shorts, I blind myself. Super loud, at least make sure it's a bop and not dad rock. Play some Daddy Yankee or whatever. Jeez. Or some Pitbull. I know the babies in my class right now are really into Pitbull. It's hilarious. Their favorite song collectively is Fireball. They alert like little tiny sleeper agents just with the first few seconds, and they're like, ooh, pop up. Even the 3-month-old is starting to get into it. The preemie 3-month-old and the non-preemie 3-month-old, because we have 2 3-month-olds right now. One was born 8 weeks early, one was born after her due date. One born after her due date, I had her brother when he was a baby. We had no idea Mom was pregnant until she walked in one day and was like, oh yeah, I need to pick up some paperwork to enroll the new baby, and they're like, "Oh, when is she due?" And she's like, "I was due yesterday." It's like, that was a risky move, waiting to enroll until the due date. You gotta, like, start looking by at least second trimester. But yeah, they're both sweet. I remember last summer was a struggle because we had 3 2-month-olds and they all started on the same day. That was rough. I mean, I would still prefer that over 3-year-olds biting me, but it was hard because we didn't have a lot of, like, in between ages. It was like a big gap. Like, we had a bunch that were 12 months and up, and then 3 2-month-olds. We didn't have an even spread. It's easier if you have an even spread. If it's too top heavy with one too much of a cluster around a certain age, it gets a little hairy. Especially when there's such a large gap between them, because they all basically were angry toddlers that just got a new sibling. So in between dealing with the screaming newborns, we had a bunch of 12-month-olds rioting. But this summer we have low numbers and an even spread of ages. No one group is dominating over another. Keeps them calm. Set up for some vlog clip. I have to text my aunt real quick, like, hey, I'm live streaming until I finish a baby blanket, because I know she usually calls in the afternoon, Sunday afternoons. I'll be like, hey, I'm live right now. Can you call later? So now it's almost 4 o'clock. So now I'm starting to wonder, do I want the to do a picot border with this? Or do I want to put a round of single crochet and then do white with the picots? Because I do have a very slim amount of this and I don't want to run out. Okay, you know what? We're going to start using this with picots, and if I run out, we'll rip it back. We'll do a round of single crochet using this, and then we'll do white picots. But first I want to roll this up real quick. Don't do this. Okay, screw it. No, we're not wasting. I don't want to waste time doing that. We're gonna just crochet. So, there we go. Because we have a lot of white yarn left over, and I have a whole other skein of this white yarn, so no chance of this running out, but I don't want to run out of that. Because the only way I can resupply on that color is if I get like, pay like $18 on eBay for a reseller. And then this blanket would be done too late. And I need it done by next week. So. There you have it. One thing I love these giant granny square blankets because it's relatively simple and mindless, but still looks nice. It just gets tedious towards the end because it takes so long to get through one round. And you hit a point with a blanket project where I'm like, I just want it to be done. But which is part of why I don't actually make blankets just to sell. Like, my baby blankets are on commission only or as gifts. I don't make them to sell. Well, that, and I'd have to charge like $100 per blanket. And in this economy, outside of a commission, most people will bulk at that price. Whereas I've done commissioned baby blankets before, and I'm up front like it's going to cost you at least $100. Just for the sheer time commitment for some of them. But I don't know. seeds. The wind just blew away some seeds off the dandelions to go make more pretty dandelions. I love dandelions. I love them in my yard. I don't love them when they're growing in the middle of the rocks in my driveway, but I do love them in my yard. One more round to go after this. Woo! Oh, I'm nervous about playing yarn chicken. Now I'm starting to think, what if I can't do a round of single crochet? Do I do a sort of linen stitch? Because a chain takes up less yarn than a single crochet. I don't know, we'll experiment. That's the point of making a lot of these baby gifts. Experiment. Experiment, and there's no pressure to make it absolutely perfect for sale. Alright, just one more row of white after this. Getting near the end. That was loud. An alert. I also posted on my Facebook page because I have Small Pine Crafts Facebook page today too for the first time in forever. All these people coming out of the word were like, oh my god, you're not dead. No, I just went through a period where I was highly unmotivated. Oh my god, is that a Volkswagen Beetle? I haven't seen one of those in forever. It's beetle shaped. Again, I don't have my glasses on, so. Okay. All right, last main row. You know what? I think I am gonna do single crochet around instead of picots in the rainbow, just because now that I'm looking at it, oh, I don't know. I just think the white would look a lot better after a round of rainbow. No, I'll do a couple stitches of the rainbow picots just to see. Why do you think the white would look better? Be more balanced. I don't know how to explain why I say balanced, but it's my baby blanket and I can do with it what I want. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud, really. We are blazing through. Woohoo. Those pigeons are back. Okay, my mom, if she's still in chat, she's heard about the pigeons. This is just in the past, like, week or two. When I get home from work, which, well, I usually get home around 5-ish, but it's 4, it's close enough. There's a ton of pigeons that land in my next door neighbor's yard and the abandoned lot in front of me. I'm like, this is a super rural area. Why are there pigeons? I mean, I like pigeons. I think they're cool. I think they're pretty. But where are they all coming from? And why are they always landing in those two yards at like the same time every day? Where do they come from? And then where do they go? At the same time. Every day. You know, I like pigeons. I think they're pretty. Just why are they here? When it's 45 minutes to the nearest Walmart. And also, how can I make them my friends? Here it comes. It's a delivery truck. I was thinking, oh, because my delivery isn't supposed to be here till tomorrow night. I have some stuff coming. I think after I finish this, I'm gonna make my pizza, and then I gotta water my flowers. I'll just use the water out of the dehumidifier in the basement because that made my electric bill go up by like $10. So we'll offset that cost by using the water. Phasing through. Whoa! Bunch of birds just landed at once next to my house. Hands are getting sore. This is the longest live stream I've done in a while. I guess this is the first one that's had people in the chat in a while. The algorithm has not been looking upon me favorably. Oh. Down to the wire, yarn's starting to get stuck to itself. The skein I got for this white yarn is just so big I had to pull from the outer pole. Otherwise it would have collapsed into a tangled mess. Can't do the center pull from these giant 1-pound skeins. Ooh. Reminds me I gotta hit the store and get more gift bags soon. Only have small ones left. Another creature in my yard, but the way it's moving. Can't tell if it's a bunny. Is that a cat? popping, it's a rabbit. Yeah, I've really got to call the eye doctor. My vision, I can tell, is definitely getting worse. Even when I don't have my glasses on and I know, oh yeah, it's terrible because of how it more terrible than it used to be. And yeah, it's definitely more terrible than it used to be. I can't even tell if it's a rabbit or a cat in my yard. Or some other creature. Because, I mean, rabbits and cats, they share the same color. Like, the birds I can tell apart without my glasses on because of the colors. Rabbits and cats can often be the same size and the same colors. So then I gotta wait until it moves to figure out what it is. Turn the corner, woo! Alright, we'll just get this edge. And then half the other edge, and then it's border time. It's border time. So we will, in fact, finish this on live. Woohoo! we're so close to being done. Excuse me. Right, last few stitches of this row. Woohoo! And then probably film a vlog clip, rehash some of what I've previously talked about already here on live about what I'm going to do for the border. Do some more thought process sharing in the vlog instead of just sitting there crocheting and staring at the camera. Gotta get back into the groove of that. All right, there we go. Yeah, that's perfect. perfect size. So let's get ready to do a vlog clip. I finished the main body of this blanket, so now I need to decide what to do for the border. I don't have a lot of this color left, and I was thinking of doing picots around the edge, but I'm not sure if we'll have enough, so I'm going to try it. And if not, we'll do a round of single crochet in this color and then do the picots in white because I have plenty of white. Okay. Get myself situated here. No. Oh, that's gonna tangle up. Okay. I really like how it looks, so I hope I have enough. And before we continue, I am going to cut this end off. And if we end up not having enough, I can just tie it back on, but I need it out of the way. Cheat weave this in real quick. This is my super secure cheat way to weave in your ends. Much less tedious than with just a plain needle and thread. And if you leave extra, you can needle and thread weave in the end as well, but it's just doubly secure. Okay. Okay, and it's not a waste of time now to weave yeah, this is going to me off. So we're gonna all right, this is we're just gonna ball this up real fast, because if we don't, it's just gonna make me mad. Why don't you cake it up first? Well, eventually you have the same problem, even if it's caked up. Also, I grabbed this on a whim, and I wasn't going to spend time caking it. As for why I'm pulling it out this way, it's so it doesn't get all knotted up. Pulling from the outside. I'm so sad this color was discontinued, because I'm really falling in love with it. Oh look, it's tangled. Right, well, I'm going to start balling it up from this end anyway. Ba-doo, 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 boop, boop, ba-doo. It always seems like so little yarn until you have to sit here and untangle it, and then you're like, oh my god, does it ever end? The answer is no, it does not ever end. And I sit here and wonder, why do I do this to myself? I just want to finish my blanket. I just want to finish my blanket. At least if I can make somebody laugh at my misfortune. That is a big bird over there. All right, finally. I win. Let's get back to crocheting. Hooray. Now that it's in the ball, it looks like, oh yeah, that'll be plenty. Just making sure that the camera is still on. I mean, I could take it off and look, but yeah. I don't like making things easy for myself. Excuse me. Oh yeah, that looks really good. I'm doing 2 single crochets and then a picot so that the picot lines up with the center stitch in the granny cluster. Oh, I love it. The more I do this, the sadder I am that this yarn is discontinued. If anyone finds this color, roller rink, big twist value roller rink, if anybody finds that anywhere for sale at a good price, DM me the link on Instagram. Boom. There. Okay. Oh boy. Starting to get a little nervous here. The yarn chicken. Oh, that is a big rabbit. Oh, guys, I'm scared. I'm gonna lose yarn chicken. Still got 2.5 sides to do and only this much left. I just gotta text my aunt real quick. It's almost 5 o'clock. So that she didn't accidentally call in the middle of me finishing this off. Wow, we've been live for like over 3 hours at this point. Just really locked in here. guys. I don't think we're gonna make it. I'm gonna stay optimistic, but I really don't think we're gonna make it. Going through all 5 stages of grief here. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna make it. Because I only have this much left and a whole side and a half to get through. So, it's also late, so this is where we're gonna end today's live stream. I will update, of course, in a vlog whether we actually made it or not, but it's getting late and I do have to do other things. So, thanks for coming to the live. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm glad getting my motivation back. So, I'll see y'all next Sunday. Bye.